I'm so glad you are watching my videos for 3.5 and 3.6. I know this is called Levine Geometry 3.4, but I'm skipping a lesson and I didn't want to confuse any of you by labeling it 3.5 and 3.6, and then you'd be looking for it and you couldn't find it. Then I get a call from parents, then I'd probably get arrested, I'd probably get fired, which who knows if that would make you happy or not, but it wouldn't make me happy. I like this job. Anyway, I have noticed disappointingly that there are a few dislikes of my videos out there. Now I know there's going to be people like Keith who just dislike my video because, let's be honest, haters going to hate. Hate, 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 hate. And you know what I need to do? I just need to shake. Shake, 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 get off. Shake it off. I know that is a second Taylor Swift quote or reference that I have made in the last two videos. I don't know why, but if you got a problem with it, too bad, so sad. It's happened, and I can't explain it. Anyway, let's start the lesson with 3.5, constructing parallel lines. I do want you to write that, 3.5, constructing parallel lines. And I want you to write that parallel lines are lines that lie in the same plane that never intersect. Okay, we've already learned that, so you should know that, and that these lines will, so that's why I'm drawing these lines to show that it's parallel. And again, you should know that means parallel. But I'm going to erase those for now because I want you to see that if we draw a transversal through those two parallel lines, there's going to be certain angles that are the same. There's going to be corresponding angles that are the same. And there's also going to be alternate interior angles that are the same. So I've drawn a couple of these here. There's also going to be a whole nother set of different types of angles, and that's these. So I've highlighted all the angles in blue are the same degree, and all the angles in this pink, purple, beautiful color are the same degree. So what I want to do is I want to be able to construct parallel lines by drawing a line and a point not on the line. Before we get done with that though, I want you to look, there's a puzzle picture I've had up here for way too long. I meant to get to that earlier. I don't feel like restarting this video, so we'll get to it now. Go ahead and look at that, see if you can solve it, but I'm done with it. It's gone. I want to, like it says, draw a line and a point not on the line, and then construct a second line through the point that is parallel to the first line. I'm doing that two ways. One, by duplicating corresponding angles on this slide. The other is going to be duplicating alternate interior angles on the other slide. So what I want to do is show you the plan. If you watch what I'm going to draw, the plan is we have a line, we have a point that's not on that line, and then we have a transversal that goes through that. Our goal is going to be able to realize that this angle is going to be the same as this angle, and so we're going to replicate those two angles. We're going to duplicate the angles so then we can draw this line right through here that will be parallel. That's our goal. That's our plan. So what do we do? What do we do with every single first one of these constructions? We draw a base. Now in this case, after the base, we draw a point that is not on that line. And then we draw a transversal that goes through the point and the line. And our goal is to duplicate this angle right there. Okay? That's our goal. I'm erasing that because that's what we're going to do. So what do? We take our compass and we make an arc. So I'm going to make the arc. We now come over, this is where the other angle will start, and we make that same arc. If it doesn't intersect the line, you just extend it out a little bit more. There we go. Now we have the arc duplicated, but we want the angle duplicated. So we measure the length of that arc that I drew in black. There we go. We have that length. We come up to the one part where we do have the intersection of the arc and the transversal line, and we draw a little arc that makes the intersection, and we're done. We have to connect our point through the intersection. These lines are now parallel if you use a straight edge. These are parallel lines, which means that this angle equals that angle. How do we know? We duplicated that angle. That's how we know they're parallel. That's how we know the angles are the same. This was doing it using corresponding angles, because remember, these are corresponding angles. They're in the same position on the same side of the transversal. But now we want to do it by the same way, but duplicating alternate interior angles. So here, our plan is going to be, we have our line, we have a point not on the line, we have a transversal that goes to the point that cuts to the line. We're trying to duplicate this angle and this angle, because that's alternate interior angles, because once we do that and we draw a parallel line, those are alternate interior. They're on the inside of the parallel lines, but on opposite sides of the transversal. That's where alternate interior is. So that's our plan. Same thing. What's the first thing we do on every single one of our constructions? We draw a base. I'm sure all of you said that together with me in unison. It was perfect. It was beautiful. You all are the geniuses that I know you can be. So we draw the base. Now what do we do? Like I said, you're all going to say it in unison. You draw the point, not on the line. And then we draw a transversal that goes through the point and the line. And we're trying to make parallel lines from this angle and this angle that we're going to eventually have. So how do we do that? We duplicate the angle. So we start at the vertex, we draw an arc, but now since we want the alternate interior, we're going this way, and we draw the arc. And it's okay if they overlap in your drawing. Now we measure the arc we're trying to duplicate. We got that measured. We go to our one intersection point we have so far on this angle. We bring it back around. We have an intersection point. And now, again, once we connect those, we are done. We have the parallel lines. We know that this angle equals this angle. And that's what we're trying to do. We are done. That is both constructing a parallel line using alternate interior angles and corresponding angles. The last thing we're doing is construction problems. And there's 2 slides here. However, my fear is so many of us don't have compasses. And there's no notes to take here. It's just the actual construction of these. And what we're doing here is constructing a triangle using these 3 segments, AB, BC, and CD. If you see on the right, these pink, purple, beautiful color, it's the same length as CA. Blue, bright sky blue color, if I can grab it, which I cannot. It's the same length as BC, and if you trust me, which you probably don't, AB and the red are the same. We're going to do this in class, but I'm going to give 10 points extra credit for each one of these problems if you both are able to draw your AB, your BC, and your CA, reconstruct them into making them into a triangle, and then tell me, does having 3 segments determine a unique triangle? What that means is, can you make multiple triangles using these 3 segments? Or is there only one triangle that you can make? It's just going to look different depending on which sides you use for which length. The second one is, can you construct a triangle with the 3 angles? Angle A, angle B, and angle C. And does having 3 angles determine a unique triangle? Which means, We have these three angles. Is there only one triangle we can make out of that, or is there multiple triangles we can make out of that? Since so many of you do not have compasses, for many reasons I'm sure, but it's going to be difficult to do this without the compass, because you're going to have to do duplicating angles, duplicating segments. I want you to either come to my seminar and do it, or find a way to get a compass and try it for extra credit, 10 points each, but we're going to go over it in class a little bit. I wish you luck. May you be successful in these two endeavors you engage in. Have a great night.